Hello, everybody, and welcome to our first game of D&D Celebration 2020. I am Mark Sherlock Humes, the Dungeon Master for High Rollers D&D. You may also know me as the Dungeon Master for the Knights of Evening Star, or as Kaliana from Critical Role. And I am going to bring you a special Icewind Dale themed one-shot celebrating the launch of Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden, along with my typical friends, my usual friends from the High Rollers team, and here they are.
Typical
friends. Wonderful, average, run-of-the-mill, day-to-day friends.
Wow.
I told you I'd mess it up somehow. So we have, and I'm going to try and get my orders right, starting from a certain side, whichever one my hand's in there. We have Katie Morrison, Kim Richards, Rhiannon Gower, Tom Hazel, and Chris Trott. We are the High Rollers. You may have seen our show. We are a UK D&D live stream group. We stream every Sunday, normally at 5 o'clock. We're an hour early today, and we play in a homebrew world. But today, we're going to be exploring the Forgotten Realms, and specifically Icewind Dale. Do you guys have anything to say for yourselves?
Nah.
No.
Perfect.
Not
No,
really.
we're here.
No.
Perfect. So professional.
Yeah.
People saw you yesterday, Kim. They saw you yesterday in the game playing Boomer.
Boomer. Good, friendly, flammable Boomer. And he had a great time. He had a wonderful time. I highly suggest you check the VOD out because it could not have gone more wonderfully for Boomer.
I'm told that you now have an owlbear that if you ever bring that character back, I'm probably obliged to let you have in some way.
A snowy owlbear called Jezebel. And
Yep.
I'll kill for her. Yeah, best friend. Best new friend.
That's my friend. Perfect. Well, today, my good friends, we're going to be playing a little one-shot. So those of you who follow Erois, our main campaign, we're not playing our Erois characters today. These are special one-shot characters. But I'm going to give you guys a specific point to introduce them because I want to kind of set the game up, give the kind of what's going on, and then we're going to jump into the action with a kind of cinematic description of your characters and what they look like. So you guys can think about that whilst I brief everybody on what's going down. So we begin our adventures in a small mountain path leading from Bryn Shander, one of the 10 towns of Icewind Dale. 7 days ago, a strange comet was seen falling from the sky deep into the mountains called the Spine of the World, south of Bryn Shander. One of the merchants of the 10 towns, a fellow called Garm the Hammer, who runs Black Iron Blades, has requisitioned a team of experts, of prospectors, scholars, survivalists, to travel into the mountains, discover this comet's location, and bring back a sample to see if it's something that he can use to create better weapons to sell in Bryn Shander. A very large sum of gold has been offered for this task, and he has also sent his own personal friend, Dallas Freehorn, a scout and kind of guide who knows the mountain area quite well. And along with Dallas comes his trusty Axebeak companion, Scoops. An Axebeak is if you've played Final Fantasy, it is like a chocobo with a particularly large beak. And this one is called Scoops, and it is carrying the party's supplies, tents, food, water, all of their kind of mundane gear that they will need to survive in the frigid, rocky mountains of Icewind Dale. And we begin our adventures on one of these trails, and we're going to see you guys in a kind of Lord of the Rings coming over Mount Edoras cinematic shot, one by one. We see Dallas leading the way, leading Scoops. Dallas is a rugged-looking human, slightly tan skin, wearing thick furred clothing, a large beard and long brown hair. Looks like a very typical fantasy human, and is otherwise just looks to be prepared for trekking along the mountains. Who is the first behind this scout leading the way? I will throw it over to anybody who wants to go. And if none of you pick, I will pick Chris Trott or Kim if you want to go.
Probably me.
Okay, let's Kim go, and then we'll jump to Trott.
Okay. Just knowing my character. So my character is a human man, very kind of, I guess, 30s, grizzled in the face, dark brown hair, dressed in a very typical fashion, cloak, cape, battered armor, and he has a wooden hand. He kind of looks a little bit like, I would say he has the jawline of Gaston from Beauty and the Beast.
Dimpled chin.
Yeah, quite dimpled, quite handsome in his own way, and he's got very, I guess, confident posture. Like he looks very confident and a little bit arrogant. He's called Ash, and for the technical minded out there, he's a fighter. Enjoy.
An Eldritch Knight, I believe.
Yes.
Perfect. All right, so we see Ash following behind Dallas and Scoops as you're making your way through the mountains. Who is next? Chris Trott. What is the next character we see kind of coming over the mountain range?
Hello, I'm John Carpenter, and I'm a very short, stout dwarf. I'm a bit old, and I've got a very big, bushy beard that's very grey, and you can barely distinguish any of his features, if I'm honest, but I'm covered in robes and furs, and I've got big goggles, nice big goggles the size of a tangerine.
I was waiting for it. God. Gosh darn it. Okay. And this is John Carpenter, the dwarf rogue, who is making his way.
I used to be a carpenter back in Faerun.
Yeah, but now he's trudging around in
my
mountains.
family business burnt down, and I learned then that my family also burnt with it. So I thought I'd change profession.
Right. Tragic.
I was expecting a punchline there, but no.
Yeah, I was going to say, just very, very tragic. But yeah, we see John Carpenter pulling himself through the snow along with everyone else. Who is next after this tragic dwarven fellow?
I could go if you want.
Go on, Katie.
Okay. So I am playing an ASMR. She is she's got sort of more tanned skin, golden blonde hair that she's got tied to one side in sort of a fishtail braid, and copper eyes, bright copper eyes, and she is a monk. She's wearing sort of some, the upper half of her tunic's quite tight fitting and then sort of flows out, and she carries a quarterstaff, and she's probably looking a little bit determined. She's probably looking quite determined, and also sort of looking at the people that she's with, and sort of, she's very focused on where she's going. Yeah.
Especially since you can easily see over the top of Mr. Carpenter's head. You can easily see the mounted trail leading.
She's about 5'8", so she's about 5'8".
Well above dwarf height.
Of my height.
Cool. What's the character's name?
Isla.
Okay, so we see Isla coming up next, kind of in the middle of the group, this kind of radiant spectacle amongst the drab browns and furred cloaks that we've seen so far. Following behind Illa, who is it Illa?
Isla.
Isla.
Isla. So Ayla, but Isla.
Isla. Isla nude. Right, who's next? Rhiannon, Tom.
I'll go next.
Yeah. Go on, Rhiannon.
All right, so I am playing Quintessa. She is a human ranger, Beastmaster Ranger. I guess she'd sort of be walking with a confident, slightly drunken stupor. Okay. She has like typical ranger garb on, like leather overalls over a white shirt, but then over that she's got a pair of like waders, like black
big
waders.
Fish waders.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she has a couple of two short swords at her side. She's quite an older looking woman, so she has like grey muzzled hair, very weathered looking, with an eye patch over one eye, and then behind her is also stumbling a three-legged white goat.
Okay, and that's the animal companion.
That is, yeah.
And does the animal companion have a name for Quintessa?
Her name is Gwynny.
Gwynny, so the Gwynny the goat, stumbling behind a three-legged goat on the mountain, stumbling behind a very drunken old lady. Perfect. Yep. Wonderful. So that's Quintessa. And then finally, the last member of the expedition, Tom Hazel. Who do we see?
I am Dr. P.H. Decker, and I am a half-elf wizard and a very aged man, and he's got wild grey hair, and various scientific gear around him. He's also got a wild look everywhere he's looking. He's like examining stuff very quickly, looking away, moving on to the next thing. And he's moving quite slowly at the back of the pack. But yeah, he's ready to investigate some meteorites and find out that it's all science. Everything can come down to science, Dr.
Even the magic.
Decker. Even the magic. It's probably just illusions. It's probably just conjuration. There's an answer for everything.
Okay, so he's our kind of scientist character in a sense, a magical kind of scientist.
Yeah.
Professor.
Great Scott!
Okay, now I get it. Yep, I now have a picture in my head. Yeah, there we go.
I was trying to find a D&D thing that is Scott, but I couldn't find it in the 5 minutes searching.
I guess like you could say great soon, like because soon is a goddess in Forgotten Realms. You'd be like great soon,
Mordenkainen.
Yeah, very, very much so. Perfect.
Awesome.
So we see these characters, this intrepid expedition making your way across the mountains. And the spine of the world is a very treacherous and very dangerous place to be navigating around in, not just for things like creatures and monsters, but the terrain itself is quite dangerous. One thing I'm going to introduce in this game, this is like a little custom rule. Rather than worrying about things like how many rations and torches and lanterns and stuff like that you guys have, I want to try out something that I came up with. So you guys are going to have something called a supply die, right? This is going to be a D6 and we're going to set it to 6. So it's going to start at 6. And this will represent things like food, water, lanterns, or any special items, right? Whenever you guys take a long rest, I'm going to reduce the die by 1 to represent you guys using your rations and your water and stuff like that. Also, at any time, you guys can say, oh, we've got any non-magical item you want in the supply, and I'll reduce the die by 1, and you can just have that item, right? Rather than you having to pre-plan it and be like, oh, I bought 50 foot of rope, or I bought a climber's kit. You can basically just say like, no, it's fine. We've got this in the supply, and then I'll reduce the number down. The other option I'm going to give you is if you guys fail at an ability check, so this would be like a skill check like acrobatics or athletics or anything like that, I will give you the option that you can lose some supply. So that would be you like, cutting loose a pouch that's got food in it or cutting loose an item to succeed at the ability check instead. So it's kind of like the classic thing of like, your backpack being grabbed by a monster and pulled away instead of you being hit by the attack or something like that, right? And you can do that instead. Now, obviously, if you run out of supply, that's quite bad. You don't have any food, you don't have any items, you won't be able to you still have weapons and armor, but things like you won't necessarily have a lantern or you won't have rope that you need to climb up something. So that's just something to keep in mind as we go through the adventure. Because as we begin, you guys are making your way towards a valley. Dallas turns around and he's been guiding you this whole way, having claimed that speaking to people around Bryn Shander, he has a fairly good idea of where this comet went down. I think there's a valley not too far through the mountains. It's difficult to reach. There's only really one way in and out, but I think I can get us there. We'll need to trek along some of the high passes to get into it, but it shouldn't take us too long. Maybe day and a half to reach it, I think. And he just kind of plows forward. Come on, Scoops. And this kind of big fluffy bird with a giant beak kind of follows behind him. You can see it dotes on him affectionately, and he's very fond of the creature, kind of giving it scratches under the chin. Any of you who have a decent charisma, Scoops quite likes as well. Scoops kind of comes over and sort of rubs its big head up against you and nuzzles up against you as you're going along. Or if you like, it can not like you if you want to. If you decide that the bird hates you, you can
That's a
decide
thing
that as
that you
well.
hate.
Yeah. So one thing, as we're making the way through the mountains, as I mentioned, this is kind of treacherous terrain. So I would like each of you to choose. You can either make a survival, a perception, or an athletics check. You can choose which one. And then depending on what you choose, I'd like you to narrate to me some sort of thing that your character is doing to help the expedition. And it doesn't have to be sequentially. You could say oh, we get lost in, a series of mountain trails and I'm going to use perception to get us out of it. It can be whatever you want. And then you can base it on the result as well. If you roll low, you can describe you messing something up. If you roll really high, you do amazing. Go on, Chris Trott.
I'll roll first before I describe what I'm doing.
Sure.
That's a 17. Lovely.
On a what? What kind of check?
That's a survival check.
Survival?
And,
okay, perfect.
What I'll tell the party, so I've
What?
done this a few times, boys and girls, okay? So what we have to do, it's a frigid wind. So I'd like everybody to stand behind the cart so that the wind is not buffeting our faces. If that's okay, I'll take the lead and prove to you that this is an adequate technique for surviving Icewind Dale. Thank you, everybody.
And it does indeed prove to be the thing by positioning Scoops at the front and kind of huddling behind the giant bird, which is a very large creature. It does help buffet away some of the wind, the freezing cold, icy wind of these mountain passes. And
Now,
John
isn't that better, everyone? Isn't that nice?
Wonderful. Wonderful, John. Thank you. Who would like to go next?
Can't.
Kim's gone. Tom Hazel, go on. Give us a roll, Tommy. Which one would you like to do?
I will also do a survival with a +1. I rolled a 3. So I think what I would be doing is tinkering with this device around a ink pot in an attempt to create almost like, you know, the bird that tips over and presses the keyboard in Simpsons?
Yeah.
Making something similar to that, where and I attach it to the back of the chocobo, the bird, and the idea is that it would drip ink so that we can keep a track of the journey that we've taken.
Right. How does it go wrong?
It goes wrong because I just attach like the smallest flask and it pours it all out in like one splat. But I'm confident. I'm confident it'll work.
Okay, perfect.
We haven't seen any ink splots for a while now. This must mean we haven't followed this trail yet. It's ingenious, I tell you, ingenious.
But we've gone round in
Indeed it
circles
is.
like 4 times.
Nice.
Right. Well, the doctor definitely ends up kind of getting you lost in the trail for a little bit of time, delaying your journey as this ink pot just is this device. It proves to be a colossal failure. Who else? Who would like to go next?
I rolled 19, which makes it a 20 in athletics, and I think I'm
very
going to
good.
just use my abilities to make sure that I'm going on a safe path, like making sure that if there's any unsteady places, I'm like, watch out, don't step there, like going ahead of the group to lay that out.
Well, there's quite a few climbs. Like there's periods where you kind of have to climb your way down or navigate down these kind of like really narrow switchbacks. And so, Isla kind of moves forward. You test out some of these paths. You secure ropes so that people can make your way across, kind of taking those initial leaps, jumping across these broken parts of the trails to make sure that the others can cross perfectly. Great. Fantastic. That's a great one. So Rhiannon or Kim, who would like to go next? You are currently at 2 successes and 1 failure, I will tell you.
I can go next.
Sure.
So I will do a roll. That is a 13 in survival. So what I'll do is I'll send out Gwynny and be like, okay, Gwynny, you go and stand by the people. You're nice and soft and fluffy and warm. You go, keep them warm. Off you go, Gwynny.
So Gwynny does go off. Gwynny unfortunately gets very distracted by all sorts of things. John, at least part of one of your cloaks has been consumed by this goat that was trying to get too close to you. It's got like bite marks and chomp, but you've kind of been dragged all over the place by it. It constantly butts heads with the Axebeak Scoops, and the two of them end up half fighting along the journey. Just all sorts of minor inconveniences come about because of this 3-legged goat that seems very stubborn and not very helpful, to say the least. So Ash, what are you going to bring to the table for this final check?
So I rolled an 11 on athletics, which is 11 and then +5 is so 16 in
That's
total on
very
athletics.
different. That
Very
changes
different,
things
sorry.
considerably.
I messed my sentence up there. I guess athletics, he would be kind of, I think if you notice, Ash, you notice he's always looking around. Like he's always kind of, what's that over there? Huh? Is that a bird? No. Deadeye? And I think with athletics, he would probably like almost go ahead, maybe scale like a kind of snowy bank just to see, look around, check the route, climb back down. So I think he would be always kind of very jumpy and very almost paranoid and moving ahead, climbing something, checking like the route, coming back. I feel like that's what he would be doing with that.
Perfect. Yeah, perfect. So combined, all of your efforts combined, you guys managed to make your way through this trail, and over the course of around about a day, you make your way down into this snowy valley. Now, because some of you did fail, I've reduced your supply by 1, so you're currently at 5 supply, but not too bad. Like making your way through the journey, mainly that came about because of Gwynny ate some of the food and kind of knocked the axe beak, sending a few things tumbling down. Also, the doctor's device leading you round in circles, you ended up having to waste some of the rations and water that you've bought to make up for the lost time. But eventually you make your way down into this valley at the mouth of the valley. As you begin making your way down, the weather in Icewind Dale begins to worsen. Already a very cold, snowy, desolate place, a very strong blizzard begins to swell. The wind begins to pick up, howling through the different peaks and the drifts around this kind of valley. The temperature begins to drop, and flurries of snow begin to form around. It won't be long until your visibility is definitely ruined. And as the temperature begins to drop, you realize that if you remain outside for too long, this is going to get very, very dangerous. Dallas points up ahead and kind of calls out to the rest of you. He's just like, I think I can see something. There's some sort of like a structure or something here. I don't remember it being here. And he's pointing at a shape that almost looks like a giant curve, like something has crashed into the snow and fallen to the side, and it's formed almost like a giant spiral, and what almost looks like fingers clutching at the ground emerge from the front of it. But the snow is beginning to pick up, and in the flurry of the white, you can barely see this building or this structure for what it is. What do you guys do?
I do believe, Master Dallas, that our only sign of survival appears to be that big circle up ahead. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but
I
we aren't
agree,
going to
Mr.
last very
Carpenter.
long.
We should get to shelter as quick as we can. Come on, let's move. And he's kind of like trying to hustle everyone forward. Scoops.
When we're there, I looked back to the rest of the party. When we get there, we're going to gut the goat, and we're all going to climb inside for shelter and warmth.
No, you're not. You're not going to gut Gwynny. No.
We don't need to gut anyone.
I think you're the only one who could probably fit in there, to be honest.
Yeah.
John. Not the best plan, but...
I'm assuming you're all agreeing with me. I can't hear you over the consistent wind. So
I'm giving
on
like
we go.
thumbs up.
Right. So my question is, the PhD is just like giving the thumbs up. My question is, who's moving up front? John, it sounds like you're kind of like rushing forward with Dallas. Is anybody else kind of like, is there an order here, or is it just a mad rush towards this structure?
I think Isla would probably step up front and try and help lead the charge. Too.
So Isla and John at the front, and then sort of everyone else kind of falling behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ash?
I'll go next. Yeah, Ash always, pushing forward.
So Ash kind of in the middle, and then Quintessa and Dr. PhD at the back kind of thing. Okay, Ela and John. John, you just managed to catch... You begin to hear something moving in the snow. As this blizzard is picking up, the wind is now rushing around you. The snow is limiting your visibility. You can barely see more than 30 feet in front of you at this point. But you hear something under the snow about to launch itself towards you. What do? This is your basically action before something springs out of this snow at you. What do you do?
I will literally dive out the way with an old man.
Just leap to the side. Okay, well, you just managed to leap out as 2 pale yellow, almost like a mixture of a slug and a centipede, burst from the snow. They look quite thin, like you can see some of their body has slackened as if it's become empty and hollow, and these things just as they launch themselves forward. And that, my friends, is going to be our very first roll initiative of the evening.
Oh, here we go.
Bring it on.
Oh.
Natural one.
What's the total,
3.
Trot? 3? Dr. P.H. Decker?
13.
13. Isla?
14.
14. Ash?
7.
7. Groovy. Quintessa?
Exactly.
18.
18. Okay, perfect. You can see Dallas literally manages to pull scoops and is trying to pull the bird away. You don't think he's going to be too much use in a fight. He's more of a guide. But Quintessa, you are the first to act as you see these what would have been quite plump yellow slug centipedes, but they're quite thin and gaunt, emerge from the snow. Little mouth tentacles like...
Oh my Christ.
What would you like to do?
Gross. Okay, I would like to tell Gwynny to stay out the way. So I'm gonna command Gwynny to move back.
Okay.
And then I'm going to get out my longbow and shoot at one of the thingies, one of the rim things.
As you pull the arrow, as you're drawing it back, the wind is so severe in this blizzard. Ranged attack rolls, this is for everybody, are at disadvantage whilst this blizzard is in effect. So yeah, it's so strong the arrows are struggling to strike. And you can only see about 30 feet around you as well. It's almost pure white everywhere around you.
Oh, my second roll was a nat 20.
Ooh.
Wow.
Well, what was the lowest
total.
one? 8 total? No, the arrow is just whipped away by the wind as it sails around deep into the snow somewhere. Anything else?
No, that's me. Good. TYVM.
Yep. Okay, Isla. These things are basically next to you because they jumped out at John, who ducked out of the way, and you were at the front. So these things are basically next to you.
I will hit one of them, whatever's closest to me, with my staff.
Sure.
As a first, and then an unarmed strike as a bonus. That's a nat 20. Oh my god.
Very nice. Off to a good start. Perfect.
Point.
So Katie, we'll do our usual crit rules from Erebus.
Okay,
So
so-
for those of you who don't follow our stream, we do it as it deals the maximum possible damage, and then you roll the damage again. So whatever your damage is.
So d8 plus 2, so 10, and then another d8.
Yep.
So 10 plus 6, 16.
16 points.
First hit.
Thwack! This staff comes down, and you can see this kind of translucent goo is sprayed out of this creature's mouth as you whack it with the staff, dealing a heavy blow. And then you're going to kick out and it with your.
Yeah, I'll probably give it a little kick in the face.
Perfect.
As a bonus action. So that is 16 plus 4 is 20.
20 will hit, yeah.
Is 6 points of damage. I rolled a 4 on my d4.
6 points of damage.
Kicking damage.
You can see this creature is already immensely wounded by these couple of strikes as you strike into it. You can see now, being closer to it you're in combat, this thing has long gash marks along its side as if it's been clawed by some sort of beast. It looks half starved, desperate to attack something, it seems. But yeah, you deal these 2 rapid blows, and it seems to be reeling from your attacks. Dr. P.H. Decker, you are next. You're about 10, 15 feet away.
Stop hitting the creature. You're ruining the specimen. He's useless when he's beyond saving.
I'll acid splash the mega damaged one.
Okay, yeah, go for it. Do I have to make a roll?
Dex save from him.
Dex save. That is going to be a 5 for me.
Perfect. 1d6 of damage. 2 damage, Mark.
2 points of damage. Welcome to low-level cantrips, Tom Hazel. Yeah, the acid kind of splashes against the creature's body. You see it just kind of writhes around in the snow. Anything else, Dr. P.H. Decker?
You must subdue the other one. He's perfect for experimentation.
The creature on its turn will try and it kind of tries to hit you with its face tentacles, Isla, and then it's going to try and bite you as it does so. So face tentacles is a 20 to hit, I'm afraid.
Ooh. Yeah, that'll do it.
That is 5 points of poison damage, and can you make a con save for me, please?
Oh no. Oh no, that's only a 3.
You, I'm afraid, are paralyzed as you feel your body lock up as this poison from these tentacles runs through your body. However, when it tries to bite you, even with advantage, that is only a 13 to hit.
That does not hit.
So it kind of tries to wrap around you, but the position you've kind of been frozen in with the paralysis, its teeth just chomp around the quarterstaff, not quite making its way through. Ash, you are up.
So I will. Kim is very excited, by the way. But Ash will attack with his hand axe. So he wields two axes, like two hand axes. And with two weapon fighting, I'll attack with my attack and bonus action. So I'll just roll them both now. So one is a 16 plus 5. And the other one is a 6 plus 5, so I'm guessing just one hit.
No, they will both hit, in fact.
Okay.
Was it 6 plus 5, did you say?
6 plus 5, so 11.
Oh, no, that doesn't hit. Sorry,
Okay,
no,
yeah,
I thought
okay,
you said
so
9 plus
one-
5. Which one are you attacking? The heavily injured one or the one that... what the other one is still injured. You can see that it has these old wounds on it, these kind of claw marks, but it's not as badly injured as one Isla hit.
Oh, which one is on Isla at the moment?
That's the one that's really badly damaged, the one that she
Okay,
was
so-
beating up.
Yeah,
one.
probably the one on Isla. So I rolled a 6 plus 3 is 9 points of hand axe damage.
9 points of damage. The hand axe cuts through. One big slice goes through its upper kind of part of its body and part of the way through its face, and it just sprays this translucent goo all over your front of your tunic and your armor. But then it just flops, kind of makes one last kind of like, and then it just flops into the snow, shriveling up like a slug as it does so. Anything else on your turn, Ash?
Groovy. That's it.
That's it. The other one will come speeding towards you, sensing a great threat, and it will try and do the same thing. It will attack you once with its tentacles. That is a 23 to hit.
Yeah, that will hit me just a little bit.
That was 3 points of poison damage. And can you make a con save for me, please?
Con save. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
That is fine. You are not paralyzed as you shrug off the poison of these tentacles kind of coursing through your system, which causes its bite to miss you as well. So as it kind of tries to grab onto you, it just doesn't find purchase. John Carpenter.
John Carpenter pulls his face out of the snow, wipes off his goggles, looking around. You conniving ankle biters. And he's going to whip out his crossbow and look to the one that's sprinting towards Ash, knock a bolt, and ping it off.
It is going to be at disadvantage as these blizzard winds make ranged attacks difficult.
All right. First one's a 16. Second one is a 20.
Oh, well, the 16 will still hit then. And you will get sneak attack as it is next to an ally.
So that's a 3. And then I'll roll another 6. D6, that is. Here we go.
It's not 66.
That's another 6. So that is 11 there, Mark.
Just 11 damage? You did 2d6 for sneak attack, right?
Just 11? I think that's pretty good. What?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
2d6.
You know your sneak attack is 2d6.
Yeah, I knew that. So I'm just biding my time. That's an extra 1 there.
So it's 12 total.
That's 12 total, yeah.
Perfect. So the crossbow bolt thuds into the creature's side. Again, this kind of goo kind of splashes out over the snow. It doesn't seem to be acidic, but definitely there is some sort of heat to it as it begins to melt away. But yeah, a very powerful blow struck into the creature's side. Anything else, John?
I will bonus action hide in the snow again.
Yeah, you can make a stealth check if you like. Quintessa,
All right.
You are up. Well, you can do that while I go with Rhiannon's round, and then you can tell me on your round what you got. Quintessa, what would you like to do?
Quintessa's going to pull out both her short swords. And she's going to go charging at this thing.
Yeah, there's only one left.
Let's go for it. So first attack
No!
is 16.
That will hit.
And then the second attack is 19 plus 4. Yes, so 20.
That will definitely hit. Yep.
Cool.
Both attacks hit.
So D6 plus 2.
These
First
two
one
short swords come
is
stabbing
6
down.
damage.
6 damage from the first one.
Is 7 damage.
7 points of damage. Almost finishing this creature off. You can see that kind of targeting these areas where it's been clearly wounded before. Your two short swords pierce into its rubbery-like flesh, tearing at its strange alien material. But it's still just barely alive after you finish with it. Anything else on your turn?
No, that's me good, thank you.
That's your turn. Isla, at the end of your turn, you can make another saving throw against this poison paralysis as you feel your body, not just the cold affecting you, but it's burning in your blood.
I rolled the same thing again. I rolled a 3.
Until you remain paralyzed, I'm afraid. Dr. P.H. Decker.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to... So, I just had a look at my actions. How do you knock something out of interest?
You can just say that you're going to deal non-lethal damage, but it depends on how. Like, if you say, Mark, can I do non-lethal damage with a fireball? The answer is no. If it's, can I knock something unconscious with acid splash? No. Could I knock it out with a quarterstaff? Yes, you could do that. Could I...
So not a dagger?
I would say a dagger you could. You could use, like, the pommel of the dagger to kind of, like, bonk, try and knock something out that way.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that. I'll run up to it.
Run up.
Yeah, I'm trying to preserve it.
Sure. I love it.
And I rolled. Oh, man. Hey, I rolled an 8. Does that hit?
Is that the 8 total? Do you have a bonus?
Yeah, I mean, I rolled 4 plus 4.
Oh, okay. No, you run up on the ice. The ice is too slippery, and your strike just goes wide as this thing kind of slimes and.
I just fall into the snow. I know.
I didn't say that. That's up to you. But yeah, you see Dr. P.H. Decker try and knock this thing out, but his attack misses. Ash.
I'm going to go again with the hand axe.
Chop.
Same chop. So I rolled a 14 and a 12 plus 5 on each. So 12,
they
13,
will both
15,
hit.
16, 17. Okay. So, and then that is 2 4s. So 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 points each. So 14 total.
One axe is enough. The one axe comes down in the middle of this creature's tentacled form, and you can see its kind of weary, tired eyes as the axe just straight into the middle of its flesh, and then as you pull it free, it just and then just flops over, dead into the snow. As this fight has been, you can see Dallas is pulling up Scoops, who's been kind of shrieking and terrified of these creatures. The snow and the blizzard is building up and is getting much, much colder. Isla is still paralyzed temporarily. You can make a bunch of saving throws if you would like, Katie, to try and see when you come out of this.
Not now.
7.
No.
14.
Yes. So after about 6 seconds or so, you eventually kind of like manage to start moving your limbs, albeit slowly and stiffly, as you begin to come free of the paralysis. But yeah, the blizzard is building up around you. The structure is maybe still, I mean, you're going to have to run or kind of trudge your way towards it, especially in this blizzard. It's kind of hard to see how far away exactly it is. What do you guys want to do?
Come on, everyone. We gotta go. Skedaddle.
Ash is already running. Yeah, Ash is already running.
Yeah.
PH Decker, are you examining like these creatures first? Is that what you were going to say?
I mean, I want to make sure that they're not just things everyone knows about.
Sure.
Like they're actually special in some way.
Well, you're a smart man, right? You're a smart man, doctor.
I'm a pretty smart man. Yeah, I'd say so. 16 intelligence.
You're trained in Arcana, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah, you don't need to make a roll. If you want to get more information, you can make a roll, but you would know that these creatures are called carrion crawlers. They're kind of like insect creatures. They generally live in the Underdark, I think that you would know, and they eat a lot of, like carrion, dead bodies and things like that. Very hungry things, tend to scoop up anything they can find. Very unusual to find them out here in the middle of the snow.
Okay. And they're not got any special markings or anything, or they've got like a different color to them, or horns where there shouldn't be horns?
No, there's no horns. The main thing that you would notice that's strange about them is they look like they're starved. They look like, they're gaunt, as if they've been starving for several days. And then they've got these wounds, these terrible big claw marks all along the sides of their big fat yellow bodies. Jagged. Looks like they were mauled by some vicious creature.
Okay, I've seen enough. I'm going to run back. I'm freezing. I'm cold.
Okay, so the group of you make a run to this structure, and trudging through thick snow that's up to your knees or up to your chest in John Carpenter's case. You guys are kind of trudging your way through, and it takes you nearly an hour to reach the edges of this structure.
Wow.
So because of that, I would like you to make Constitution saving throws against the extreme cold.
Yeah, okay.
I keep rolling a 2 on con saves.
You got that natural 20. You've got to pay for it now, Katie.
Yeah.
You know how it goes.
With 3 2s.
I literally said this yesterday. So on the game yesterday, I rolled really well. And I said, I guarantee tomorrow on high rollers, we're all going to roll badly. I don't know what it is. Being outside of high rollers in someone else's game, I have magnificent rolls. Back here.
Yep. So,
The name High Rollers, it's cursed us.
You know, it's a sarcastic name. So, Katie, I'm assuming
Fail.
low. Okay. Ash, Kim?
18.
18. Okay. Ree?
A natural 20.
Natural 20.
God.
Perfect. Tom?
13.
13. And Chris Trott, John Carpenter?
14.
14. Right. So either whether it's a mixture of the poison still running through your body or the cold, not maybe perhaps having the best wear, the best clothing for this environment, you are going to take 1 level of exhaustion from the extreme cold. You can see like her skin almost turning a faint shade of blue, uncontrollable shivers, but you guys make it to this structure. And I will read out from the book, Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden, what you see. An eerie glow betrays the outline of something stupendous and ominous. It looks like a cephaloid with slimy, ropey tentacles as thick as tree trunks that has tried and failed to bury its immense bulk in the snow. Like a cephaloid, like a giant seashell, like a giant creature of the deep, with these giant tentacles, and it is enormous. This thing is huge, gargantuan, one might say, and it looks like it has plowed a giant furrow through the snow, come to a halt, and then just stayed there. And looking around, it's just pure white. The only thing you can see is this structure in the blizzard. It's about 5, I'd say it's probably about sort of 8 feet. There's like a side up to what you can see is maybe like a deck, almost like the deck of a ship. It's covered in fresh snow, so it's hard to see what kind of material it's made from, but there appears to be some sort of siege weapon, a ballista covered in ice at the front as well. And then the rest of the structure becomes this black, chitinous, organic-looking material. But yeah, you're going to need to climb up onto this deck to get a further look. What would you guys like to do?
I think we'll be safe in here. Let's go.
Yeah.
It's a bloody big snail.
Dallas is like, I don't care what it is. If we stay out here, we're probably going to freeze to death.
You should just stay on your guard. There's something in there, something that attacked those other creatures, and I'm positive that this is something terrible. That I don't think we're safe at all. No.
I'm positive that this thing is from a sci-fi action movie franchise. But yeah, I mean, it's not too hard. Like, you guys don't need to make checks to climb up on the wall with helping each other out. You can kind of boost each other. Ash, especially Ash, if you're going first, it's not hard to like jump, pull yourself up, and kind of offer a hand down to everyone else and pull them up onto this deck. It is covered in a thick layer of snow, and it's only getting worse as the wind continues to build. The only entrance you can see from the back of this deck is quite large. It's quite wide, and the only thing really of note is this large ice-covered broken ballista. It looks like it's been broken by the crash. And then at the front of the ship are these 5 giant tentacles that kind of spread out from the front of this structure. Behind the ballista, set into this thick, chitinous, organic-looking wall. The only way I can describe it is like that of a sphincter, like an organic, fleshy hole that has sealed up. And that is literally in the book. That is in the book, Chris Trott. I'm not joking you. It says interior doors, a fleshy sphincter. Right? Don't look at me. This is Dungeons and Dragons.
reasons to buy Rime of the Frostmaiden.
Oh my God.
Great Mordenkainen. That looks like an anus. That's a giant ass.
That's what Dr. P.H. Decker calls out as you look towards this fleshy material that seems to be the closest thing you can see to a door.
Well, I'm bloody well not going in there. That's for sure.
The wind
Uglier than any sea hag I've ever seen.
freezing wall.
It's not my first time I've entered a sphincter. Let's go. I'm not going to start going towards it.
That doesn't. I don't think that came out the way that you meant it to, did it? No, it didn't. Okay, so Ash, is Ash gonna make?
No,
I'm going
this
to
is
plead
cursed.
something here.
Cursed.
I've been watching Ash versus the Evil Dead, the TV show, and in season 2, there is a thing with a cursed, possessed colon in that, okay? There's a whole fight with a possessed colon. You can't do this to me. Let's go to the
I
door.
can.
I'm
You did it to
touching the
yourself.
door.
Don't dive straight in.
So,
Test the
Ash, you
waters
make your
first.
way. You make your way to the door, and you can see that there is. It's some sort of organic material that has closed up. How are you going to open this thing? It's not like there's like a door handle or anything like that. What do you do?
Touch it with my
Mine does.
So you kind of just like put your hand in and start rummaging around to try and you're going to try and like force it open.
No, I just want to touch it and see
Okay.
what happens. Like if it responds to like.
Yeah, you touch the door and the sphincter, and you can tell that there is a kind of warmth as if you were touching a body, like a kind of living creature.
Of course there
And
is.
there is this faint pulsing that kind of comes through. And after a few seconds, as you kind of touch and prod, the door kind of.
I said nothing about prodding. You said that.
I said that because otherwise we're going to be here talking about a fleshy door for 20 minutes.
Who wrote this?
No, I don't know.
Enter in chat right now.
He's doing a full-blown examination, for Christ's sake.
And then
just get in there.
Go
the
elbow
door
deep.
opens.
Oh.
And it seems to lead into a room, and you can tell immediately, Ash, that it's warm. Like it isn't cold. It's pleasantly warm inside.
Okay.
Do you lead everyone in?
Come on, you lot. The door's open. Let's go. It's safe. It's perfectly safe in here.
That's an
It's
accent.
not safe. It's definitely
I don't
not
know
safe.
what-
No.
The butthole is just distracting me. I can't.
You can see
I can't be consistent.
Scoops and Gwynny are kind of almost hesitant to go in. You can see Scoops is kind of like kind of pulling back. Gwynny's like calling out as you're trying to lead her forward. But it is warm. You can tell. Dallas calls out just like, it doesn't matter. We need to get inside. If there's anything in there, we'll have to deal with it. If we stay out here, we're dead.
Let it be
Hopefully the
known,
blizzard will pass.
let it be known, everybody, that I'm quite known in 10 towns. So if word gets out that I've walked into a snail's ass, I'm coming for all of you. No, turn around and walk
Make your
in.
way in. Sure. I'm going to assume most people follow. Anybody wanting to do anything differently? No?
I'm out. I'm good.
Perfect.
I'll go in.
Perfect.
Right, straight in.
As you all make your way through, after a few seconds after you all pass through, the door kind of shuts again with a wet, squishy noise. But it is pleasantly warm. There's no wind. You are suddenly almost as if you were in a warm tavern room. That kind of dull, dry heat emanates through the place. This chamber that you've entered, I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it. You can see that stacked along the walls, there are all sorts of quite mundane looking wooden crates and barrels, metal footlockers, containers of a sort. There is a staircase that seems to go up, and then there also appears to be more of these kind of open holes in the ground that lead into thick tubes, like kind of crawl spaces, but these kind of large organic looking tubes set into the floor and the walls. There is a staircase though made from the same black chitinous metal like substance that leads up, And then at the back of the room, there appears to be 4 more doors, sphincter doors, that lead into separate chambers. You also notice that there is a pair of broken manacles attached to the walls. And you can also see trails of purple liquid going up the stairs and down into the holes. But there is a kind of sigh. Dallas is like, oh, at least it's warm in here. What is this thing? What is this place? This hasn't been here before. I've never seen anything like it.
Is it quite light in here already? Or is it?
There is light. It's dim light. It's still quite dark, especially in the corners. There appear to be these almost like bioluminescent orbs that kind of pulse. Bioluminescent algae is a division, but no, there's like a bioluminescent orb mounted in the walls, or they hang from the ceiling like jellyfish in these kind of knitted metal nets, and they just pulse this very faint blue glow. So it kind of casts everything in this weird ethereal light.
Creepy. Okay.
It is a little creepy, but it's warm and it's safe.
Are those metal crates?
Yeah, there are definitely some metal crates in here, Kim. Yeah, it's quite a few.
Where?
Are you sure?
There's all
Can you
sorts
describe
of,
them in more detail?
No, they are metal crates.
When did you say that?
Well, actually, if you want to examine the crates, you can do. Yeah, sure.
Ash would like to examine the purple liquid. You mentioned there was purple liquid, like a trail of purple liquid. Is it a trail or is
There's
it like...
2 trails, in fact. One of them goes up the stairs. The other one seems to maybe come from down the stairs and leads into one of these fleshy tube holes in the ground, and goes deep down inside.
Can I have a look down the fleshy tube hole that goes deep down inside?
Yeah, you can look down the fleshy tube hole that goes deep down inside. You kind of, are you sticking like your head in, or are you just kind of like standing up and peering in as best you can?
I'm peering for now. I'm just going to be peering, yeah.
Looking down, it's almost, it's kind of hard to describe. It's almost like a stone tunnel, but it's very clearly made of this organic pink fleshy material. And it seems to form like a network of passageways down there. You can hear this kind of humming, this throbbing coming from down below, almost like a heartbeat. And they look big enough. A small creature like a halfling or a gnome could probably move amongst them quite easily. A bigger creature like yourself would probably have to crawl, sort of like hunch down and sort of like scoot your way through it. But yeah, it looks quite complicated. Looking at the wall, there is a similar tunnel. Like there are these similar holes set into the walls that seem to go up, and they seem to maybe connect to rooms above. They all seem to be connected to each other. Almost like, I guess for Ash, maybe you'd be thinking like, oh, it's kind of like something's guts. You're looking at like intestines or organs or something. Ash, they're big enough for you to crawl around in.
Ash knows what guts look like. They tend to explode all over him. Can I just like drop something small down the hole? Like, I don't know if there's like, I don't know, a rock or a metal crate. No.
You can pick up a metal crate.
Yeah, is it, so yeah, can I drop a metal crate?
So you drag. The crate is very heavy. You can tell that something inside it is kind of rattling around. It's quite heavy.
Okay.
But yeah, you drag that over. Do you just like kind of kick it in? What's the rest of everyone else doing when you see Ash do this, by the way?
What's everyone?
I'm standing next to Dr. Decker.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, this reminds me of my annual cleric checkups.
You have had your checkup, haven't you?
Well, I feel like after this I won't need one.
Oh, you'll need one. You'll need one. Luckily, you're standing with a doctor now.
I'm going to let the youngster do all that work over there. Seems to be doing an adequate job. You go get him, Ash.
What about Ela and Quintessa? What are you guys doing?
Ash, what are you doing? No. If that makes a noise, whatever is in here is definitely going to hear it. There's something in here. There's got to be. Have you seen these trails on the floor?
There's nothing in here, babe. It's fine. My voice has changed again. Don't worry about it.
No.
When you look at this crate, Ilsa, I can't get the name. I'm dumb.
Isla.
Isla. I know.
No.
It's just in my brain. I've got it as like Ilsa,
Jesus.
and that's what's stuck in my brain. Isla.
It's a Scottish thing, I think. So I just.
But I'm fine
It's
with
normal.
Ayla. I'm just being.
Isla.
You can see that etched on the side of the crate is a very strange language. It seems to be made up of all sorts of different symbols and things like that. It's not one that you speak. It's quite large. It looks like the kind of thing that, I don't know, something like weapons might be stored in, or goods, like something like a shop owner might have to keep goods in.
Does it have a lock on it or anything?
No, doesn't have a lock.
No. Can I have
Ash
a
is
look?
like pushing it in.
Wait.
over the hole.
On the
There's
edge.
something. There might be something in it. Something useful.
Oh,
Don't
fine.
throw it away just yet. Just check what's in it. It might help us.
After you, babe.
Okay.
Stop calling me babe. It's really infuriating.
You pop it open.
What's in it?
So you open it up, and there's three very odd-looking objects in it. They are quite long, with all sorts of very strange, magical-looking gizmos on them. You'd almost imagine that they're kind of got the body of the stock of a crossbow, but without the arms on it. And then they have these kind of pulsing, glowing spheres that seem to be screwed into the bottom along where you would hold it. There's a trigger and all sorts of crystals and runes. There's three of them, all sat in there. Very odd.
Does anybody know what this might do? It's not like a normal crossbow.
On my way.
Dr. Decker, have you seen anything like this?
Let me see. Let me take a look.
Okay.
And what kind
so
of
it'd
look
be-
would I take?
You will need to make an intelligence check, so just straight up intelligence, please, Dr. Decker.
I rolled a 21.
Okay. So the first one is you can kind of tell what these things are. You've heard about these, maybe in magical circles. There are sometimes from other worlds, from the planes, the beyond the weird planal stuff. These weapons, these are weapons. They fire highly focused beams of energy. You're not 100% sure how to load them, but you think it's just a matter of holding it in a certain place, and then clicking the trigger and it will fire. You don't know how many times it can fire. You don't know how powerful it is, but that's roughly how it works. These are laser rifles.
Okay,
Three.
I'll look with like a shocked face at Isla.
It came from outer space. It's a magical crossbow. It's a crossbow. It's all it is.
From outer space.
Oh yes, from another realm, another dimension.
I told you that there was something terrible here. We need to be prepared. We need to be. Who can use these weapons the best? They're not really my typical style. Anyone?
You say
Crossbow?
terrible. I
None
say
of you-
amazing.
I would say none of you are proficient in these, but anybody can use them. So it just means you just don't add your proficiency bonus when you fire them. So
Ash is helping. Is already one.
you take
give.
one. Yeah, you
Give.
can take one. Each one has like the strap on it is made from this rubbery like gray leather. And it seems to be straps you can kind of strap over your shoulder. Very, very odd. It's the whole thing is made from the same black chitin that the rest of this place seems to be made from. And it has these like glowing blue orbs strapped to it as well. Quintessa, what are you doing?
She's trying to calm down Gwynny.
Yeah.
Gwynny's in a right old.
Just kind of stomping around.
She's not enjoying this at all.
That's more of a horse, I guess. Yeah, Gwynny's just kind of stomping around. I think Gwynny's probably like sniffing at these holes and does not like these holes. He's kind of like,
Gwynny doesn't like these holes, and I trust them more than I trust myself. You should stay away from them. I don't
Her
like
and me both. Don't trust holes.
okay. Ree, as you are looking at, it's like you're kind of like tending to Gwynny who's over by one of these holes. You think you can hear like a really weak voice coming from below, like a help me, please. But you're the only one who's close enough to really hear it.
There's a voice. There's a voice in the hole. Please.
Is that the drink talking, or is that definitely a voice? Because just to make sure, you have been, having a few on the.
What have you heard about my goodberry? What have you heard about my goodberry wine? What have you? You're on the waiting list for next season. Don't go spreading bad rumors about my goodberry wine around town. I'm not having that.
No, I'm just.
I work hard.
Saying that. Just. Are you sure the voice is the voice, or is it a side effect of the very potent wine?
No, it's definitely from down the hole. On the back of the bottle, you'll get it. It'll say, "Voice is definitely not guaranteed."
Oh, okay, that's good. I'm glad you've added that disclaimer.
I've added that now, so it's a new version 2.0 this year. So look, sign up for the waiting list. It's going to be good. It's going to be a good season for Goodberry wine.
Okay.
But there's a voice in the hole.
While this conversation is going on, John, you realize that Dallas is missing. You don't know where he's vanished.
I don't mean to cause a kerfuffle or anything. Don't mean to intrude, but it appears we've missed a leader of our party, and I do believe he might be elsewhere now. So, if we wouldn't mind gathering our thoughts and maybe getting him back.
But I'm right here. I'm the leader.
Oh, Master Ash, my apologies. You seem to be completely confused as to the hierarchy of this party situation, where it appears that our leader Dallas has gone missing.
Sub-leader Dallas. I was always in charge.
He probably went back out into the snow. I think he's gone ice mad. Ice mad. Or snow mad.
Sea hags. Sea hags again. Oh!
Sea hags this high up in the snow?
Right, while the two raving lunatics are having their moment, what's everyone doing?
We're gonna have to blast this bloody door off. I'm gonna walk you.
Are we doing all our catchphrases now then?
Are you are you going to the ones at the back of this room? Because you can see there is a staircase that leads up as well, and then there are these four sphincter doors at the back.
I think I might start investigating the area around me for footprints through any of this purple weird stuff that would match Dallas's gate, so to speak.
Yeah, give me a survival check.
Sure. Ding dong, that is a resounding 10.
10? You find one footprint where it looks like he stood in it, but this stuff doesn't seem to leave much residue. It's quite sticky. It just looks like maybe he went upstairs. Your best guess is that he went upstairs. You can just see Scoops in the corner, just like it Scoops, the axe beaker's kind of propped itself up into the corner of this room and is just looking around nervously. But yeah, Dallas looks like he went upstairs.
I'm just going to nip up the apple and pears. You're welcome to join me if you want.
Yeah, is anyone going to go with him?
Together.
I think, yes, staying together, definitely a good plan. Keep your eyes ahead of you. Keep alert, everyone. And somebody has to take Scoops. He doesn't like me very much.
It's a very large bird. It's a very, very big bird. You're not even sure if it's going to fit up these stairs.
Push it up. An animal companion.
Okay, all right. So Quintessa, you're gonna you try and do that with Scoops. Why don't you give me an animal handling check as everybody else is making their way upstairs, and then I will describe that. Those of you who do go upstairs, you find. I already love the fact that Rhiannon is squealing about whatever she just did.
20.
It's 20. Okay. Okay. Those of you who head up the stairs first, with John leading the way, you come up onto a second deck. This one seems to have almost like a thin mucousy sheen on the back end. Where you entered the previous room below, this one has like a thick mucousy, almost like glass front. There appears to be another ballista, this one facing towards the mucousy sheened glass, and the walls are lined with ballista bolts and various tools. There is also another thing which it kind of takes you by surprise. Leaning up against this ballista is a giant man, maybe 7-8 foot tall. One of his arms has been ripped off. But as you get closer, you see that this man is actually stitched together other parts of other people. It is all different people sewn together, but one of its arms has clearly been ripped off. It has a big iron band around its head with bolts screwed in, and it has all different metal plates covering its body, and it's just slumped over this ballista.
That's amazing.
And you can see that another trail of purple blood continues up a second set of stairs. There is also another sphincter door at the back of this room, and that is what you see. Meanwhile, go on.
Huge membrane blocking our path, or is it?
No, imagine, this is difficult to explain. So if you had come up the stairs, where you came into this structure, you've kind of gone upstairs. The mucus is kind of almost like a window, as if like it would normally be open to the air, but it's kind of sealed itself off to form a sort of partition
At the back of the
outside.
room, ahead of us.
Yeah, imagine that if you've got like a left and a right side, this is the left side. On the right side of the room, there is another door leading back into this structure. Okay. Quintessa, as you got a 20 on your animal handling?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you managed to kind of coax Scoops, and Scoops kind of begins following you, and Gwynny kind of goes along with you as well as you're trying to get them to go up these stairs. When you see something scurry across the floor between the hole that you were just at, something black kind of appears and then seems to vanish before your eyes, and then it just vanishes.
Not again. Not again. We're not alone. We're not alone.
Scoops and Gwynny start really freaking out. Like, the others are all upstairs. The two animals, you're behind the two animals as they're on the stairway going up, and they're like, Scoops is just Gwynny, they're freaking out, making noise. The rest of you hear the animals making tons of noise.
I was going to say that, like, I don't think Ash would have gone upstairs. I think he's just staring at these holes. He's very fascinated by the holes. So I'm probably
the holes?
down, still with Quintessa.
Okay.
So can I just turn and just be like, what's another cute name for it? I'm just going to go with Babe. Hey, Babe, keep those animals under control.
I'm trying. There was a black shadow, a shape, scurrying along.
Nah, I think you're just seeing things again. Are you drunk again? I know that wine is good wine. Yeah.
Are you definitely up for next season?
I'm already signed. I'm like on your loyalty membership. I got my membership card. Look.
That's excellent. That's excellent news. I'll get you a freebie. I'll get you a freebie.
Thanks, babe. Where specifically were you not seeing the thing that you were seeing?
What's your armor class, Ash?
My armor class is 16.
Okay. You feel something from the hole that you were examining a hole. You turned around, you're talking to Quintessa, and you just feel something wrap around your skull and drag you back down into the tunnels.
I'm so excited!
You just hear
What?
Quintessa, you see, it's almost like the air behind Ash seems to shimmer like the Predator, where it kind of distorts light and reflects around it. And then just as you see Ash kind of speak his final words, and then these tentacles, these big gray tentacles of this enormous, huge, hulking creature just around his skull, and then it pulls him rapidly, lightning quick, down into the tunnels. Ash, you take 15 points of psychic damage, and I need you to make an intelligence saving throw.
Oh, he's not very smart. Can I just say, Kim loves this. Kim is so. I'm so happy right now. I'm so happy.
Why I made you first, Kim.
7. I rolled a 7. If it's a saving throw +2, so 9.
9. Okay, you are also stunned. So you just are.
Shit.
Meanwhile, the rest of you are upstairs. What are you guys doing?
I've never seen anything like this before. Theoretically, with all these pieces, there's no reason why with an electrical circuit around his head, yes, with the right amount of power, 2.21 spell slots.
Oi,
would... Yes.
Usher Gums.
As a point, right? Dr. P.H. Decker, you do think that if you channeled any lightning magic into this thing, it could come alive again. This thing looks like a flesh golem, which is a creature created as a construct, and generally lightning magic brings it to life. Like lightning spells bring it to life.
It may be reawakened. Imagine the power.
Yeah. That's all very well and good, but the zoo downstairs is causing a right racket, so I'd like to know what's going on. If you don't mind, I'm going to turn around and look down and see what...
You can see Quintessa looking into the corner, freaking out.
What appears to be the problem there, Quintessa?
Ash is gone, just like my husband. He was taken into the hole. It was like how the sea hags got him. It was exactly the same.
Right. So I need you at the moment, if you would, to take a deep breath, because you're in no state to apply yourself to going down the hole and retrieving her. So you stand aside while I go and see if I can get our dear friend Ash out the bloody hole.
So slow.
Off I come down the stairs towards you.
Don't
stand aside.
Don't. They were invisible. They're invisible. They're big tentacles. They're
right. I
black
appreciate
eyes.
the descriptive nature of what's going on, but if you wouldn't mind,
Black eyes like a doll's eyes.
All right. That's
I was waiting for it, and it still caught me. Still caught me by surprise. Eventually, Quintessa, you can pull the birds, even in their panic state. You can pull the animals out of the way so that other people can come down.
Amazing. Yeah, I'll come down and then draw my short sword, which I think I have, and then go to the hole and be ready for anything on my roguish alertness.
Sure. You wait. Nothing.
It appears as if there's nothing down the hole, and I think that wine might have gone to your head.
Scratching you off the waiting list for next year. I can't believe you don't believe it. He's gone. He went in the hole.
Isla and Decker, what are you guys doing while this is going on?
Oh, my wonderful creature. I wonder who you would serve. I wonder...
I mean, there is another floor. There's another floor above this, and then there's a door to your right as well, Decker, that you could explore. You don't see any signs of like any control devices or anything like that, or unless you just want to try and activate it.
I don't have any lightning spells, but if I did,
maybe there might be one. There might be something around here that can activate it. Surely, a creature like this, they would have to have something to activate it and deactivate it around.
There must be some kind of power source nearby, Isla. There must be. It has to be. Maybe upstairs.
Is it the best idea to activate this? We don't know what it serves. So its master could be here, probably. Also, do you notice it's gone very quiet? No one's called me babe in a couple of minutes. I am a bit worried about the rest of them.
I prefer calling you Isla, but if you like.
Me too. No. I'm just saying that I think that Ash might be in a bit of trouble because it's gone very quiet down there. Shall we see if they're okay?
John, you hear from the walls where you've kind of been standing over this hole where Ash disappeared, but there are also similar kind of holes and shapes inside the walls as well. You hear what sounds like scrabbling, as if something's scurrying up a hole in the wall, like it's going up above you, like.
Oh, they're in the bleeding walls. Come on in. All right, I'm going to start slashing at the walls with my dagger.
Oh, you don't even need to slash. You can just climb up. You can see these large openings that you can kind of part and step into. And they're almost like organic vents that they sort of form these fleshy tunnels. Do you want to just climb in one?
Yeah, I'm going to go towards the closest sound with my short sword equipped.
Sure. Yeah, you just start pulling your way in. You look up, you can't see anything. It's quite dark in here, but with a dwarf's dark vision, you can start to just kind of pull your way up and start climbing your way up if you like. As you do so, the rest of you are kind of all examining things downstairs. Ash, you climb out a different hole. You'd managed to find your way around, and you've climbed out of a different hole. You felt something grab you. It dragged you into the tunnels. You managed to kind of fight it off and kind of scurry and find your way down there. You think you saw some sort of body down there, though, when you pulled your way out.
Okay. Am I covered in lots of goo? Am I just gonna wipe the goo off? Disgusting. And then can I go over to the body? So is there a body near me?
No, it was down in the tunnels. You've pulled yourself up to kind of regroup with everyone else. But yeah, you saw what looked to be like it was like a little gnome's body down there, you think.
Oh. So I emerge and into the room.
Mm-hmm.
Do I see everyone? Is everyone?
I think it's just Quintessa down there at the minute, because I think John's scrabbling up the walls.
Okay.
Dr. P.H. Decker and Isla are upstairs.
That was not groovy. What? Something touched me. It was disgusting. I think there's a body down there, though. I might go check it out again. Yeah. Can I just go back down the hall, please?
Yeah. You begin making your way down. Quintessa, what are you doing?
Oh, can I ask Quintessa for some goodberry wine first? Like, because I'm feeling a bit woozy. Hey, babe,
What?
have you got any of that good wine?
Yeah, I do. You are the greatest adventurer I think I have ever seen. There you go.
Thanks, babe.
John, Ash is here. John, come down.
Oh, well, I just climbed up the bloody wall.
Well, you have to climb back down again, won't you? Come on.
Don't worry, I'm
John,
about
you
to
kind
go
of
down the hole, so...
You've reached the second floor, and you're now looking at the same thing that Decker and Isla can see. But you can see that the tunnel continues up, and there does seem to be like a stronger light source coming from up as well. It seems to be maybe the top of this structure. There's like a more powerful light.
I'm going to continue up the hole. It appears to be some sort of light source. I'm going to investigate further. Don't worry. I've been doing this for decades. I know what I'm doing. I'll see you in the mo. And I'm going to walk up or climb up the hole.
Yeah, you climb up. You climb up further and you emerge into a high domed chamber. You can see that the light is coming from a complex lattice of bioluminescent jellyfish that use their glowing tips to kind of form like constellations, all in the kind of ceiling of this strange structure. There is a high-backed chair with armrests with sparkly blue crystal orbs that is tilted towards these. The jellyfish almost form like screens, and then their tendrils are almost marking points on the screens, and the chair is tilted to look up at them. You can also see in this room there is another sphincter door to your right, but there is also slumped against a wall, is a very odd sight. They are roughly about the size of a gnome, wearing purple robes with a high-backed collar, but their face is distorted into a large, bulbous purple head, white, pearlescent eyes, and big tendrils around its face, like a shrunken mind flayer. It looks like a gnome-sized mind flayer. In its hands, it has one, like a long rod tipped with a crystal, and then the other one is covered in purple blood, and it has written some sort of message on the wall in a language. I don't know, do you speak Gnomish?
I genuinely do.
Oh, well, you might need to call for a companion who can speak Gnomish.
They're dead, are they?
They are dead, yeah. You can see that they have been clawed by something. They've bled out, but it looks like that they've written this message in their last moments.
Right. I don't know if any of you can hear me from up here, but I would appreciate if you could use the utmost haste to get up here as well.
Decker and Isla, you can hear John, but the other two, Quintessa and Ash, you can't. Ash, you're down in the hole. Quintessa, you've seen Ash go down there, so...
Yes, we'll be there shortly.
On my way, I'm going to use the stairs, not the weird wall climbing
Fletch
technique, though. Yeah, no. I'll walk up the
you can make
stairs.
it work with this. Yeah.
What is it? What do you need?
I need you to look at some language that I cannot understand.
Oh, okay. Sure. Can I take a look at the...
Oh, yeah,
writing?
absolutely. Yeah, you look at the writing, and written in Gnomish, in blood, the creature's own blood, it says the following. Experiment. Fail. Slard not suitable host. Dangerous. Must destroy id. Hid crystal. Dreadaxe detector find. Guts. Beware.
I didn't remember all of that, but I will relay.
You can ask me again,
exactly
but
that.
I'll read it out again. Experiment, fail, slard, not suitable host, dangerous, must destroy id, hid crystal, dreadaxe detector find, guts, beware. Meanwhile, Ash, you climb down into the hole. Quintessa, what are you doing?
I think I will leave the animals in
Okay.
this area. They can keep
Yeah,
each
they
other
just
company.
kind of find a
They'll be fine.
corner. Yeah.
And I'll follow Ash down the hole.
Okay, so you make your way down into the hole, and Ash, you lead Quintessa back to where you found this body. And you have to crawl through these kind of tight spaces, like these, like the guts of a living organism, these tight corridors. And when you reach it, Quintessa, you see that the body that Ash found appears to be that of a very similar creature to what they find upstairs, a small, tiny mind flayer with an overly sized, large head, like a collar, squid face, almost cute in a way. Hold it in his hands. He has a smaller version of the strange laser rifles. It's a laser pistol. He's holding it in his hands. And then he also has kind of attached onto a gray leather strap, a very strange looking device, all knobs and crystals and a big sort of wire that seems to be kind of some sort of device for finding things, like almost like a dowsing rod, but made of magical materials. And as you are down here, Quintessa, as you are kind of brought towards the body, what do you do? Do you investigate it further, or are you just kind of like looking at it with Ash? Ash, what are you doing?
Quintessa first.
I'll investigate it. I'll have a look.
Okay.
See what killed it.
So you start peering over the wounds, and you can see, you kind of use the tip of your bow or one of your swords. The back of its skull, a hole has been bored into the back of its skull, as if bitten through, and the inside of its skull is hollow. And then it looks like there's some sort of residue that's gone through the skull down into the esophagus. And as you're examining it, the chest on this little gnome begins to swell, and this creature erupts from it, almost like a grotesque frog with these tendril faces.
I wanted to be bursted.
And you back away. This thing, it's trapped inside the creature's thing. You back away, bring in your weapons. And that's when you look over and you see that there's actually another body that Ash was kind of crouched in front of to block from view. And it's Ash's body. And Ash manifests, and you see Ash's form change, and it changes into this gray-skinned frog with a big tendril-like face, big bulbous eyes, and in your mind you hear, "Welcome." And then it grabs you, and you feel the tentacles wrap around your head. Meanwhile, upstairs, what do the three of you upstairs do?
Can we RP as aliens for the rest of this now, for the next 40 minutes, please?
Maybe.
These children down here.
Yeah.
So there might be a doctor on this.
I think you're upstairs from me still. I'm just like looking over.
He did come up.
Oh, you did come up?
Sort of like fully devilish, just looking over all of these little things.
Yeah.
Do you know what a Dreadaxe detector is? We should maybe find that.
Yeah, John.
Maybe. Do you have any idea?
All right.
I don't know what it is.
I'll get snooping around, shall I?
Yeah, something Dreadaxe. Axe-like.
What else did you mention? We got to kill the id. Something
Yeah,
like that.
destroy the id. But
All right.
I don't.
We'll put a
What was
pin in that
the
one, shall
last
we?
part of that message, Mark?
The last part of that message, I'll read the whole thing just again. Experiment, fail, slard not suitable host, dangerous, must destroy id, hid crystal, dreadaxe detector find, guts, beware.
Hid crystal. Guts beware. Okay. So
All right, I'll get looking
maybe-
for a crystal and a detector. It's called a dread axe.
Yeah, there's
maybe not in the guts.
the
I
down.
feel like that's probably a bad
Well, there's
plan.
a door to your right. There's like another one of these sphincter doors to your right, and this appears to be the top level of the structure that you can't see any more above you. And then there was another door as well on the floor below with the doctor. What do you guys want to do? Do you want to go downstairs, or are you going to investigate what's up here first?
I think I will go down and tell the doctor what we found. So
Okay.
relay that information to him about
Okay.
the slad and
A device.
red
you
axe
say.
detector.
Sure. Okay. So you're making your way down there, John. What are
Yeah.
you doing?
I am going to go through the door on
Okay.
the right and have a little look-see.
Yeah, you kind of have to put your hand on it, and it seems to almost react to you touching it. It seems to almost sense your own pulse, and it opens up. The door that you head through leads into another domed chamber, but this one's full of clutter. There is a large table that's piled high with all sorts of gizmos and shapes and things, some of which are organic, some of which seem to be made of metal. Behind this, there is a large crystal sphere, and there appears to be a small creature, almost like it has a similar sized head to the dead body outside, this kind of gnomish head with these squid tentacles, but its body is all kind of shriveled and shrunken and deformed. Its head's actually larger than the rest of its body, but it appears to be clutching a crystal, like a red crystal. It's kind of clutching in its body, and it's almost like it's suspended in some sort of fluid.
I'm going to immediately turn into rogue mode and just slink into a shadow and slowly get out my crossbow, pull over my hood a little bit, and then just line it up really slowly like a sniper would.
Okay.
And ping one off.
Into this crystal sphere at this creature that's like hovering there.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Easy. Go.
Yeah, don't even need to make an attack roll. It pierces through the glass with a great shatter, this kind of immense, as this fluid begins gushing out onto the floor. And the crossbow bolt just goes right through this creature, and it lets out just a last desperate, like, as it kind of wraps its little flails, tentacles
Got you, you
around.
bleeding bastard.
The crystal kind of like ting, 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 rolls along the floor to the table.
I'll go grab that.
Okay.
Keeping an eye and my wits about me.
Sure. While you do that, Isla, you head downstairs. Just as Quintessa, you are coming up, having explored the guts. You've examined everything down there. Some dead body that you found. What a strange little creature. Not quite sure why it was down there though. And yeah, you come up to meet the doctor, and you see Isla coming down as well.
Hello. How's it going?
Oh yes,
good.
fine.
I'm
We've
trying to-
I just wanted to mention that I found out some information. There was a dead gnome up there with a very big head. It was very odd, but the slad are not a suitable host, Doctor. Apparently, we might be dealing with a slad on this thing.
Lad.
Yes.
I mean, I could try and search my mind to find what a slard is, but
I can tell you what a slard is, Doctor. A slard is a planar creature. They're spawned from limbo, the realm of chaos. They're aberrations, quite powerful. They can gestate in a creature's abdomen to kind of spawn more of them. That's how they procreate. They lay eggs and then they respawn. Very powerful.
interesting creatures.
Doctor, could you make an intelligence saving throw for me, please?
I love this so much.
Hey. 15.
15. So Quintessa, her form shifts and she turns, her eyes turn almost milky white, and you feel some sort of psychic force projected directly at you, Doctor, as it ripples through your mind, and you barely manage to keep hold of your consciousness. This Quintessa shifts into this hulking frog-like gray-skinned form, but with these tentacles dripping from its mouth and a bulbous, elongated head, big gangly claws. And I think that we will roll some initiative.
Oh my god.
All of us.
Against Rhiannon.
You can roll initiative as well, John, but you're moderately safe upstairs for now. Obviously, Quintessa and Ash, I'm sorry, but you guys are dead. I did roll to see if you died, but yeah, I figured you'd be okay with it.
I'm living my best undead life. Like,
Doctor.
Can I be an alien? Am I an alien? Can I be a slod? Can I be a slod? Can I be a
Well, you will be eventually.
Okay. I'm gestating.
Once that tadpole in your chest finishes up.
I got a 10 on initiative.
10. Isla.
12.
12. Let's see what the Illithad that I made up has rolled. It's go.
What
So
great work
I would
gestating
like
is.
both of you to make wisdom saving throws, please. As this thing it kind of hunches itself and lets out
That's a 21.
21. Okay.
Oh,
Doctor?
that's pretty good. I got a 10.
10. Doctor, you are filled with such immense fear of this creature. You are frightened of it. While frightened by this spell, the creature must take the dash action and move away by the safest available route each turn, unless there is nowhere to move.
Now, is Sphincter safe?
I mean, it could be. It very well could be. That is all it's going to do on its turn. Isla, what would you like to do? You see this thing. It's huge, bulking, looks very powerful.
I will first of all, John, we found it. It's definitely here. I told you it was here. And then I will activate my radiant soul. So some big golden wings sprout from Isla's back.
Very cool.
And her eyes glow. And I'm going to give it a little hit with my quarterstaff.
So you move up to the creature and you're going to try and engage it? Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to try. 15 to hit.
You swing the quarterstaff and it just knocks it away with one hand. Just
and then I missed on my unarmed strike too. So nope.
Yeah, you just hear in your mind,
I shall save you for later. I suggest you run.
Anything else?
Nope.
All right, Dr. P.H. Decker, you are terrified of this.
I mean, I have to take a dash action, so I haven't got any bonus actions, so that's me.
Nope.
I feel like...
Would you like to... I'll give you a choice. You can run downstairs via the stairs, you can climb into a sphincter hole and go up or down, or you can make a break for the door behind you, which leads further into the structure.
Sure. I mean, I know how quickly those sphincter doors open, and I get more distance going away from the thing than up or down, right?
Sure.
I'll go through a sphincter door.
Okay.
Please.
All right. So that's your turn.
I'll take
I
the
believe
sphincter door for 200, please.
you may make a wisdom saving throw at the end of your turn.
Okay. Let's see. 19.
19. You kind of, as you rush through, when you rush through the doors, you find yourself in, hang on, I've just got to get up the room here. You find yourself into a crystals protrude from the chitin ceiling of this oddly shaped room. Some of the crystals are lit whilst others are flickering and burnt out. Plates of chitin have been pried loose from walls in places, exposing cavities filled with tangled masses of black fleshy tubes. There is all sorts of unusual looking tools. You can also see that there is another sphincter door further into this room, which you could also proceed through with your movement. Would you like to go into there? Run through two doors?
I have to move, right?
You have to get as far away from this thing as possible. So you rush through the next set of doors, which leads into a 5-foot diameter sphere. This room contains a 5-foot diameter sphere of shiny black metal and small transparent hexagon windows. You can see metal tines resembling grasping claws protrude from nearby walls, as if it was holding some sort of crystal. but it is now empty. You can see 2 dead bodies of these gnome squid things with the little disheveled bodies. 2 more of them are kind of just laid dead on the floor as you run in panic, and then suddenly your senses kind of return to you, and that terrible fear ebbs and fades away from you.
I'm screaming the entire time, by the way.
You just scream. John, you don't technically, for your initiative, I'm not going to worry too much about your initiative because you're currently separated. On its go, Isla, you will get an attack opportunity because it chases after Dr. P.H. Decker. It just turns on all fours, chases after him.
Nope, I rolled a 4.
Okay, so you just swing, and you hear this kind of message.
Ah, such delicious meal. How could I resist?
It bursts through these doors. It almost rips these kind of sphincter doors open as it looms in front of you, Dr. Decker.
Awesome.
And it tries to grab you with its tentacled mouth. Moof. 17 to hit you.
Oh, yeah.
You take 15 points of psychic damage and you are grappled. Can you make an intelligence saving throw, please?
Intelligent. I'm grappled, okay.
You a juicy snack.
18.
18? Okay, so you are not stunned, but this thing has ripped its tentacles around your head, and you can feel it, like, bringing its giant mouth. If you could look around, the audience can see this, but the character can't. As it opens its giant mouth, another tiny, small mouth begins to protrude out, heading towards the back of your brain. Isla, on your turn, you see this thing chase after Dr. Decker, completely unfazed by your presence or your attacks. Outside, the blizzard does appear to be maybe not receding, but it is less powerful than it was before.
Interesting. I'm going to fly up the stairs to where John went into that room.
Yeah, you emerge up into that room, no problem.
Did you find anything? Did you find the thing that we need to do something? Well, I've seen it. It's
I've got
huge.
the bloody crystal.
Okay. What's a dread axe detector?
I've
I don't
got
know
no
what that
bloody
is.
idea.
Okay.
I think if we all work together, I think maybe we're gonna work it out.
I think we've got
Just all need to remain
like a
calm.
minute until everyone is dead except us. So we can either, bail or try and stop this thing.
You're holding the crystal, right, John?
Yeah.
When you hold this crystal, you kind of become aware that you can hear Isla's thoughts. And not just Isla's thoughts, but something else is speaking to you. As you're kind of holding this crystal in your hand, you begin to hear this ethereal voice like, "The navigator has detected another pilot."
Is that so? Where would
Yes.
this pilot be?
I am speaking to the current pilot lifeform now. I am
Right.
the id Ascendancy,
Oh, you're the
Nautiloid
id.
class ship.
Pleasure to meet your acquaintance, id. Whereabouts are you right now?
I am everywhere, John.
Hi.
Hello,
well,
John.
Where's your source of power?
My source of power is located in the propulsion chamber, 1 floor below you. It is currently occupied by the hostile creature that has slain my captains.
Right. That's very useful information. I appreciate that.
You are welcome,
I'll be on my way right now.
Fantastic, John. Thank you, John.
Wonderful.
Did he say that out loud as well?
You hear his bits out loud, but not the voice
Yeah.
in his head. As I imagine John is not speaking telepathically, but out loud.
Yeah.
It said destroy the id. Is that
Well,
the id? We should destroy it.
Your companion is correct.
Also-
My previous captains were attempting to initiate my self-destruct.
Right. And how do we go about doing that then?
If you reinsert the psi crystal and then activate the self-destruct via the helm, the large chair that you can see in the previous chamber.
Right. I bet
What
not a
does it
lot of
say?
people know that.
That is Meanwhile, Doctor, you currently have a thing wrapped around your skull. What would you like to do?
I would like to grease myself. I mean, I'm casting grease, and
Okay, what does grease do? You tell me.
Slick grease covers the ground, comes out of my trouser leg first, though, in a 10-foot square, pointed on a point within range, and turns it into difficult terrain. Each creature standing in its area must succeed on a dex save or fall prone.
You know that includes you, right?
I'm not standing. I'm currently grabbed by the thing. I mean, I'm going to land on it.
I mean, I guess if it's grappling you, yeah, like it's holding you well. Let's see. Was it
land on it though?
Dex save? What kind of DC?
Dex, 13.
10 plus 2 is 12. So as you conjure this grease, the creature kind of begins to slip and it falls prone, knocking it prone, which releases you from the grapple. But you are also knocked prone as well. Yeah, but you kind of slip free.
Do I not do a dex save?
Yeah, you can make a dex save now, actually. Yeah, make a dex save now. See if you can catch
God
yourself.
damn it. No, I'm down to.
Whoa! I mean, it's still your turn, though, so you could spend half your movement to stand back up and then get 15 feet out the room, at least.
I could do a little bit of ice skating. You know?
Like, whoa! Kind of throw yourself to the side.
Push myself off a wall.
Just slip and slide out the room. Just slip and slide face first out the room.
Yeah.
On the face.
Perfect. So you are making a rush for it out of the room as Isla and John are having this conversation upstairs. The thing will attempt to stand up. It rolls a natural 1. It just like is sliding around as you just hear this like voice just like, "Fool, this will not help you escape." I need you to make an intelligence saving throw, please, Doctor.
12.
You feel that psychic force kind of rush through you once more, and this time you are not able to resist it. You take 22 psychic damage. Are you unconscious?
Oh my god. Not only am I unconscious, Mark, I'm dead.
You just, your head, your ears just burst with blood as you just fall to the ground.
One of us.
One of us. The last, I think the last thing the doctor sees is this grey slard creature, this illithard, crawls up to you, picks up your body, and then just begins to feed.
Oh my god.
Meanwhile, our final 2 heroes, what are you doing, Isla and John?
We're coming
But it says, how can we destroy everything?
I'm gonna start running back down the stairs that Isla came up. I think we've got to go. We've got to go to the room where the bad thing is and help our dear friends.
All right, so as the two of you run down the stairs, go on.
While I'm running down the stairs, sorry to disturb you. Would you mind telling us exactly where the detector is?
The detector is a device created by one of my pilots to locate psi crystals. However, you are currently holding the psi crystal we have found. The detector is a device. It is likely located on Dreadavax's body.
Right. No time for that then. Let's go fix the problem, shall we?
So as you finish that conversation, you run downstairs onto the main deck, and looking through these open sphincter doors, between you and the propulsion unit, you see the grey slard holding the now lifeless body of the doctor as it just throws it to the side. And this is where we will put in your initiatives.
Yeah, it was 12 when I rolled it.
It was 12, but now I'm going to get Isla to roll as well. So I'll do 12 for John, and then Isla, what was your initiative? 12 as well. Okay, so put John first.
This is all piano, by the way.
The hand with the thing that has the empty crystal where it should go, that's in this room, right?
No. So imagine that you're in like a large, you're in the room with the ballista and the kind of glass mucus wall in between. And then to your right, there's a wall with a door and then that is where the creature is. And then behind that is another room where the engine is, basically. So it's between you and the engine. You'll have to get past it. You can easily make it in terms of distance. It's only about 30 feet to get to the engine, but this thing is between you. What do you do?
I'm going to turn around to Isla.
Mm-hmm.
Here, take this. You know, when I was back in Ten Town, me and my friends, we were working for some local nobles. And we were trying to buy the loyalty of ragged tribal leaders by bribing them with precious stones. But their caravans were being raided in the forest north of Daggerford by a rogue. So we went looking for stones, but in 6 months, we never met anyone who traded with him. Anyway, I'm probably rattling on, but it's a stone, size of a tangerine. I'll run in.
Okay, Isla, as you hold the stone, you hear the voice like, "How unfortunate. John has forgotten that this is the very stone that is needed to power the device." As he runs into the room without the crystal.
Well, my intention is to fight this thing while Isla.
Right, I see.
Past.
Okay, in that case, very heroic. Excellent. What do you do, John? So you run in.
Equipping my short sword, I'm just going to go jump and slam into this thing.
Go for it. Make an attack for me.
Okay, so that is a... What? Still rolling? 12 total.
Just glances off this kind of thick, grey, rubbery hide.
Come here, you bastard.
Anything else?
Bonus action, disengage, actually.
Yeah. Okay, and then step away from it. Sure. Okay, so you kind of
away,
like back off.
Keeping out of melee range, basically.
Okay, Isla, what do you do?
So I know that the device that I need is in there.
Yeah, this crystal, the navigator tells you the crystal you're currently holding, this purple red crystal, if you put it into the device behind the creature, that's the engine. It will activate the ship, and then you can activate the self-destruct from the helm.
Okay, so I'm going to fly in there, use a key point. Use a key point to take the dodge action as I fly past the creature.
Ooh.
And slam it in the thing.
The device into the engine.
The device.
I love it. So it has disadvantage because you're using the dodge action. It will try and swipe at you with a claw. That's a 3. So even with its bonus, that's going to miss. So yeah, you kind of fly over it with these golden wings spread out. You fly over the creature's grip. You place the crystal into this engine, and you feel the whole ship begin to again grow warm. The lights become brighter. You hear in your mind, thank you. I've been looking for that. Now I can escape. After I consume you and your friends, of course.
Can I activate the self-destruct?
You need to go upstairs. It's the helm, which is the chair that's in the room above. So it's going to get a couple more rounds. Sensing
Classic.
you and John, it will... Ooh. Ho, ho, ho. It will...
So many options.
It's a lot of options. It's a lot
Nom,
of
nom,
options.
nom, nom, nom.
John, could you make an intelligence saving throw for me, please?
All right, then. That is a 20.
20. So you feel this thing trying to create some sort of illusion to bring about your darkest fears, but you know, you've faced worse. You've faced the darkness before, and this thing has no hold or sway over you. And instead, it just rushes towards you with one giant claw raised for a 14 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay, so you're going to take 9 points of slashing damage as this giant claw kind of rakes through your body, and it's pinning you, almost like, well, not pinning you, but it's got you trapped in a corner, so like you'll have to get around it no matter what to try and escape. It's your turn.
Oh, Isla, you gotta go. You gotta activate self-destruct. I'll wrestle with this creature. Don't you worry. Why do we fail? Why do we fail?
Nice try. I appreciate it. You want to just roll some dice?
Yeah. I'll just roll some fucking dice. Short sword.
Go.
That is a 9 to hit, so probably not.
Just parries you away again.
And then bonus action, I will try and disengage as well.
Yeah, you still can. Like, you managed to kind of slide under this thing's legs to avoid it as you kind of get onto the other side.
Still flexible in my old age.
Isla, what do you do?
Can I use another key point, please?
Yes.
Can I avoid it? Is there any way I can go around wide enough?
Yeah, you can go around because you can fly as well, but you could use the key point to dash, and you'll be able
That's
to
what I
make
want
it
to
to
do
the chair.
then.
Yeah, okay.
I would like to use my key point to dash and get to the self-destructy.
Yeah, so you fly up, heading up the stairs, and you sit in this kind of big, arched, high-backed chair, and you place your hands on the 2 crystals, and you feel this kind of strong sensation. Can you just make a Constitution save for me?
Oh, God.
As you touch this thing, you can feel this surge of power erupt through you.
I rolled a natural 1.
Natural
God.
1. You're going to take 15 points of psychic damage, but you manage to grit your teeth and focus, and you hear the navigator's faint voice. Hello, Isla. Would you like to engage self-destruct?
Yes. Destruct.
You have 60.
Destruct.
You have 60 seconds. 59.
Okay.
58, and you begin to hear this faint beeping countdown in your mind. Meanwhile, John, this thing pounces on you once more and tries to wrap its tentacles around your brain. 25.
Oh,
Yeah, that'll do it.
That'll do it, won't it? Let's see here. That's going to be... Oh, that's really bad. 23 psychic damage.
That's me down.
Okay, that's
Some
your brain.
illithid just want to watch the
However,
world burn.
Sucking your brain out gives Isla time. You've got time to begin making your escape. Like, what do you do?
I will use my last key point to dash and just fly on out as quick as I
Yeah, so
can.
you make your way down the steps, and you can see the creature holding John's body as it's like sucking its brain out. And just as you kind of begin heading down, it looks up and sees you, and it begins to kind of move in a chasing motion. As you get down to the next level, this kind of main area where you first came in, you can see Gwynny and Scoops are still alive, just kind of huddled against the door, waiting. Like you can see them like kind of like bucking and breaking. But this thing is chasing you. It's going to follow you outside. What do you want to try and do?
Well, when I go outside, I just want to fly up high so that it's not directly, like I'm not on its level anymore.
Okay.
So just keep on going.
Okay, so you rush outside. The door barely manages to open. You kind of have to almost force it at one point. Gwynny, the goat, kind of rushes forward and headbutts into the alien creature, the Illithard, as it butts into it, and it kind of grips it, and it throws Gwynny to the side. You hear something snap in its body, but Scoops kind of like rushes out behind you. You fly up high, and the creature kind of, it moves up and it begins looking around. The fierce blizzard is blowing around you, and it begins kind of scaling the ship itself, begins climbing up, trying to chase you as you fly higher and higher. The blizzard is still raging enough that it's really hard to beat your wings. Can you give me a Constitution saving throw?
Oh no. No, it's a failure. I got a 6.
So you find yourself that you can't maintain this altitude, and you begin drifting lower and lower as this thing is now kind of perched on the very tip of the ship as it looks to you with these pearly white eyes.
Did you think that you could escape, Winged One? Your brain will be delicious.
As it pounces itself ready to leap towards you. I'm going to give it a roll. That is a 5 plus 2. It leaps towards you just as a great gust of the blizzard kind of throws you back and spiraling out of the air towards the snow below you. But this thing kind of almost slips. It begins falling, and you can see that it's just going to grip onto the side of the ship. But this delay is just long enough for, as you're kind of blown away and slammed into the snow, your vision beginning to fade from cold and exhaustion, you see an enormous blue explosion rip through this organic ship-like structure, tearing it to pieces, just as Isla's vision fades to black. And that is where we will end our one shot today.
I have 1 hit point left.
Really?
Oh,
that's so
1 hit point.
Oh.
Damn, down to the wire.
Down to the wire. Just in case everybody knows, like, obviously the guys knew that I did tell them that this would be the kind of adventure where maybe
It's
only
a
one or two of you would escape. It was not meant to be fair.
I was thinking about it, but from Isla's perspective, that entire thing was awesome because she like left Quintessa and Ash, and then just came back and she saw everything basically, and was the one to survive.
Your guys' like decisions lined up so perfectly with a kind of horror movie kind of like thing. Like if you were filming it cinematically, like it just worked. Like even like the grease from the Doctor is such a great sort of like kind of lucky escape that kind of character would get, where he's like, oh, I'm gonna get away, and then it's just like, oh.
It was also like the last time Isla saw John Carpenter, he was fighting with it. She then went upstairs, came downstairs again, and he was then dead and being like devoured. That's
I was gonna go back and like scoop him up and carry him out because he's only little, he died. So
I will say, if this movie were to have post-credit scenes, if this were a movie and we had our post-credit scenes, we would see Scoops like picking Isla's body up, like he would pick Scoop up and begin making his way through the snow. But what we would then see,
Aragorn going to Helm's Deep in Lord of the Rings.
Well, yeah, you'd get the like thing, but then the camera would like pan away, and in the kind of remains, under the guts of the ship, we would just see like Ash and Quintessa's body, and then we just see them like swell, like, and then that would cut. That's the end. So nice. The Illithards remain. Very, very cool.
Very cool.
Fantastic
Chess
game.
babies live on.
Fantastic game, everybody. We've got some few minutes to chat. So apart from just chatting about the game, which we can do, I want to do a quick mention to say thank you very much, D&D, for inviting us to be part of D&D Celebration. Make sure you check out Icewind Dale, Rime and the Frostmaiden. This was based on an actual location in the book, but obviously I changed a lot. Like, this is not how the actual module is meant to go. I added a custom monster. It's a lot more silly in the book, so it's a lot more funny. You get to meet the two gnome Ceramorphs. They're very, very funny. Very, very different. So I just thought I'd mention that in case people had false expectations. The other thing I wanted to mention is if you'd like to see more of us play, you can check us out on High Rollers. We stream every Sunday on twitch.tv/High Rollers D&D. You can also check out our YouTube channel or our podcast on Spotify, iTunes, etc. to catch up on our previous episodes. We've just hit 1 million views on episode 1 of our second campaign as well. So,
yesterday.
Perfect time to come and join us.
We are also playing through Curse of Strahd on Thursdays.
Oh, yes, very true. Yeah, we're doing a very alternate version of Curse of Strahd where we've made some big changes as well.
There's a couple of things to check out, a couple of things to catch up on our YouTube or podcast. Do that.
Loads more D&D. Loads more
D&D.
Loads more. Yeah, loads more.
But I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was that went. I could not have asked for that to go better, honestly, from a DM perspective. That was a really fun thing. Kim, thank you for throwing yourself into the role of Jock Soldier.
Everything that I wanted to happen happened. I got to flirt with Katie. I got to be, I got to be a big dumb. I got to flex a little bit. I got a gun, although I didn't get to fire it. A little bit of boomstick. And I got to sacrifice myself to the great god's alien chestburster, which, frankly, I would love to do in real life. But
I know you wanted to have a chestburster, but I thought you being taken over and a false being a shape changed creature that led somebody else to becoming a chestburster. I thought you'd appreciate that.
Take someone with you.
I was really hoping when you found the laser rifles that you would get to use the line of "This is my boomstick." I was really hoping that you'd be like, "This is my boomstick."
I was about to, but stuff happened.
I
did want my final words to be "Hail to the king, baby," but obviously you can't really say that. It's not really natural when something just yanks you backward.
You got deep blue seed. I deep blue seed you. I'm sorry.
Yeah. That's fine. That's a good reference as well. That's a good ending for me as well. That's the most I deserve.
What about the big creature, the Frankenstein monster?
So that is a flesh golem. So I put that in as a, if you guys had because again, I never know how much you guys are going to muck about and just play around. So I wanted to put some things in there. So that was so it's actually in the module. It's a flesh golem that the two gnomes have. But in this one, I had it kind of to be like the bishop from Aliens. So if you'd reactivated it would have been a way that you could have delayed the monster. So you could have been hey, go fight that monster. And it would have bought you some time as the two of them fought. Nice. So it was a little option for you guys to have there. Awesome. Trot killing the little gnome squidling in the hole. He was meant to be like you rescue him and he's really grateful that you've saved him and he gives you the gem. He's like you saved me, and you're like, he was meant to be like Newt from Aliens, where it's just mostly comes out mostly.
My God.
And then he's just bam, dead.
I'm not messing around with that.
I loved it.
Not worth the risk.
Nah.
Amazing.
There's a crystal. I took it.
It was perfect.
Man, awesome. It was really cool.
Good. Very, very fun game. That's it. Well, we've got a couple of minutes still left. I don't know if we just, if there's anything, is there anything that I need to mention? I don't know.
Hey,
maybe.
What's coming up?
What's coming up? Well, one thing that is coming up is if you'd like to see me DMing again, thankfully it's not live, it is pre-recorded, but I'll be DMing the Knights of Evening Star game, which is at 4 p.m. Pacific, which is tonight. And I've just been told by a voice in my ear that we can wrap up whenever we want. So that's it. Anything from anybody else?
No, just go and check out.
Had a great time.
Check out Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden.
Yes.
It has
out
6
yourself.
doors.
And Tasha's Cauldron of Everything as well, which is coming out very soon.
Yes.
Play this all for yourself. I might try and whack this up somewhere because I think people would get a kick out of these little additions. So if you wanted to run this
it was
for
really
somebody,
cool.
I'll post this up somewhere.
it's fun to play.
Cool. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, D&D. Enjoy the rest of D&D Celebration 2020. And we'll see you if you come by and watch High Rollers. Take care.
Please
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.